You know what? I like stories from zero to hero. So today, I'm going to talk about one of the favorite games of my youth. A game so black and white that you either have to choose to become a good, righteous, and boring fag, or you become a super evil, ruthless Chad, surrounded by your female slaves. A game where you either help a child with a stomachache, or you kill the entire village, and then rape their corpses. That sounds like good fun, right?
You're now renowned enough to use the sexy hero pose expression.
I have chosen to play the Anniversary edition, which replaces the fairy tale character design and changes it into monstrosities straight from the depths of hell. As a hopeless optimist, I can't help but to praise the innovative menu controls. I can really appreciate that the creators of this game want to make the game so much more challenging by making the menu so difficult to operate that I was fighting it longer than any of the bosses in this fucking game. Have I mentioned that each time you use an item, the game will exit the menu, so you have to go through it over and over and over again? Fantastic. Story. You play as a handsome goblin whose village has been burned by bandits. You, however, are saved by a mage called Maze, who in the Anniversary edition of this game is white, as this skin color obviously suits classes that use intelligence better. Maze takes you to probably the worst hero guild imaginable. For example, the guildmaster makes you beat the straw puppet with a wooden stick, but tells you to switch to an actual sword when fighting your black friend. The guild alarm goes off when they spot fucking beetles in the guild woods, and the brightest, the most promising people in all of Albion are bested by a 9-year-old child. Anyway, you easily get past your exams and you graduate as a hero, and from now on, you are able to take hero contracts. There's a lot of quests, so I'm only going to tell you about some of the adventures of the greatest hero of Albion, Chicken Chaser.
So you're the chicken chaser, are you? I thought you'd have bigger hands.
I was offered the quest of escorting merchants from one edge of the Darkwood Forest to another. It wasn't an easy task as the forest was filled with monsters and bandits, but as a fresh graduate as a hero, I have really given it my all. However, in the middle of the forest I have found a nice looking Temple of Scorm, where I proceeded to sacrifice one of my fellow merchants. But don't worry, his Jewish friend was so busy counting his shekels that he didn't even notice the absence of his friend and cheered me on until the end of the mission. Another quest worth mentioning is probably the most tedious quest in the whole game.
Intruders, shut the gate!
Your mission is to sneak past 3 guards guarding the main gate. They are so highly trained that stepping on even the smallest branch is going to alarm them. Fortunately, the guard at the gate suffers a very advanced form of Alzheimer and will keep sending more and more troops after you kill the last patrol. Game play. Straight off the bat, I'm gonna talk about the most fun feature of Fable. Demon Doors. They are those talking sculptures, giving you all sorts of challenges before giving you their virginity. Some of the challenges are easy and pleasant, such as performing an act of unspeakable evil, like for example, killing those innocent merchants. Some of the challenges, however, seem close to impossible. This door, for example, asked me to literally eat so much food until I become a filthy, disgusting American. The prizes, however, make up for the difficulty of the challenge, as most of them are very unique pieces of equipment. Another great advantage of this game is the variety of combat. There are 3 different schools of fighting, which you can use separately or mix them up, and those are melee, that consists of spamming your left mouse button, ranged attacks, that consist of locking onto the enemy and then clicking the left mouse button, and finally magic, that requires you to hold shift and then mash your left mouse button. A nice little thing about magic is that it gives you invincibility frames upon use, which means you can chain it without ever worrying that something will hit you. So to sum everything up, the combat system is made for people suffering from Parkinson's disease, as the muscle spasms help greatly in mashing your left mouse button. Each action you take will have a direct consequence, be it your appearance or the way people perceive you. A good character is going to be a blonde hero admired by people around. Plus, he's going to have a halo and butterflies flying around him. While an evil character is going to be a balding devil surrounded by flies. People of Albion will fear and run away from him. It's obviously a satirical representation of good and evil, but that really makes Fable what it is. And that's pretty much it for this review, although I do have some closing complaints that I wish were fixed. Why can't we sell Lady Grey to the brothel? Why can't we at the very least make her follow us so we could sacrifice her in the temple? She keeps saying she's far too important to follow you. What a bitch. The AI can at times be a little glitchy. Whisper, for example, was doing this for the entirety of the arena quest. So that's Fable. It's a very comfy game that will sure make your lonely and sad fall evening much better. Just a quick update on what's happening in my personal life. I have to say that it was pretty lonely in hell, as humans there, for some reason, didn't like me too much. But here on Earth, I have found a friend, and even if it's a lower form of life, I am rejoiced. Mark is great. He's a doctor, and he's a really likable person. Unfortunately, he is also very sick, and has to take his medication every single day. As an exchange for letting me stay in his apartment, I deliver his medicine to the most needing, poor people out there. I have to say, this whole being a good person feels quite nice actually.